Revenge films.
I have two sisters, and I'm the youngest. We're a normal family like many other families. However, I recently found out that one of my sisters, A, was having an affair with her boss at work. It came to light when her boss was rushed to the hospital where my oldest sister, B, works. My sister, A, was a fresh grad who had just started working. When her boss suddenly became ill at the hospital during their date, A panicked and immediately called an ambulance. But the boss was having an affair with A. A didn't want to ride in the ambulance with him to the hospital. The paramedics urged her to get into the ambulance, so she had no choice but to accompany him to the hospital. So, her boss was sent to the hospital in a bathrobe, and A went with him in a uniform costume. My oldest sister B was on duty that day, and she was the attending doctor of A's boss. It was embarrassing enough that A wore a costume to the hospital. The worst part was that the doctor was our oldest sister. Of course, A knew that Sister B was a doctor, but B was recently transferred to another hospital. A didn't expect to see Sister B there at all. Sister A was caught completely off guard.
Oh, hi, sis.
Sister B realized everything when she saw them, so she stared at A with a disgusted look on her face. After the hospital contacted A's boss's family, A ran off as quickly as possible. In the end, A's boss was saved, but their affair was also exposed. The boss's wife later sued A and demanded compensation, but A didn't have any money because she had just started working. The wife threatened A. She would let everyone at work know about their affair if A didn't pay the compensation by the deadline. Sister A spent a lot of time and effort to find this job after graduation. Naturally, A didn't want to get in trouble at work or lose her job. In fact, A had a boyfriend working at the same company while having an affair with her boss. How ridiculous is that? She didn't want her boyfriend to find out about her affair with her boss and break up with her, so she had no choice but to ask our parents for help. Sister B was at our parents' house when A came.
Mom, Dad, I need to borrow some money.
I could tell Sister B was irritated when A asked for money from our parents. Our parents had always spoiled A. They couldn't leave A alone even though they knew she was in trouble because of her affair. So, they decided to lend her the money. Sister A was relieved when our parents agreed to help her. Sister B witnessed the whole thing and became even more frustrated and angry at A. I looked at B's face and knew she was definitely going to say something. Our parents decided to pay the compensation for A. They told A that she could repay them anytime. In other words, A wouldn't even need to pay our parents back the money. It was precisely what A wanted.
Mom, Dad, thanks,
she said with joy. Then Sister B finally opened her mouth. I'll lend you the money, A.
What?
Our parents and A were all surprised.
What are you talking about? Mom and Dad already said they're lending me the money.
No, they're not. I'll lend it to you. I always knew A was a troublemaker, so I was confused as to why Sister B would insist on lending A the money when our parents had already agreed. Seems like Sister B wouldn't allow my parents to lend A any money whatsoever. Of course, A would prefer to borrow from our parents than from Sister B. But after Sister B pressured our parents to not lend A any money, A ended up borrowing from Sister B. Sister B also made A sign a memorandum with all the details about her affair with the boss and the amount of compensation she had to pay. It also included the amount she borrowed from Sister B to pay the compensation. Sister B clarified in the document what would happen if A was late on repayment of our parents paid for her. In that case, Sister B would send this document to her company and show it to her husband when she gets married. It was almost frightening to see how meticulous Sister B was. I would never want to mess with Sister B. At that time, I was a college student living at home. Sister A had moved out after graduating college, but her rent and even phone bills was still covered by our parents. Well, my phone bills are covered by them too, but it was strange that they'd continue to support A after she started working. Our mother even went to clean A's apartment and cook for her 3 times a week. Now that I think about it, our parents had spoiled Sister A a little too much. Everything changed after Sister B lent A money. Sister A was unhappy that she had to start cooking and doing all the housework herself. The thing A was most dissatisfied with was that she had to start paying her own rent. She was living in an expensive apartment because she didn't need to worry about the rent. After Sister B stopped our parents from paying A's rent, A had to pay and rent with her own salary.
I have to pay Sister B back every month. How does she expect me to live after paying the rent too?
A complained to our mother behind B's back. She was hoping to get some money from our mother, but Sister B seemed to have predicted that already. I'm sorry. I wish I could help, but your sister wouldn't let me.
Don't worry, she's not here, and she won't find out if we keep this between us.
But, I'm bad at lying. Your sister would know for sure. I'm sorry. I nodded in agreement. My mother is terrible at hiding secrets, and Sister B is very perceptive. If our mother helped A, Sister B would find out eventually. A was disappointed that her mother had turned her down. Sister B has always been the most feared one in our family. Even our parents would listen to her. It's not because B is too scary to talk to. What she says always makes a lot of sense, so none of us can argue with her. Later, our parents got A car as a graduation gift and for landing her first job, but Sister B confiscated the keys.
How do I go to work without a car?
Take the train or ride a bicycle. There's so many alternatives. I'm keeping your car as collateral until you pay off your debt. I'll sell the car if you stop paying. Sister A couldn't get her car back no matter how much she begged Sister B. Also, Sister B didn't let A transfer the repayment from her bank. Every month, A had to go to Sister B's house to give her the money in person. I don't quite get why A had to hand-deliver the money. Maybe Sister B wanted to teach A a lesson about money. Sister B's home was 2 stations away from A's apartment. As a doctor, Sister B always comes home late at night, which means A also had to deliver the money around that time. There was a time when A decided to take a cab to Sister B's home, thinking Sister B would pay for it. Of course, Sister B was not happy about it. Sister B refused to pay for the cab fare. It almost turned into a police incident. Sister A cried frantically, trying to get Sister B to pay. In the end, our parents had to help A pay for the cab fare, which was absurd. One day, A broke up with her boyfriend, and A was naive enough to ask Sister B to introduce doctors to her.
Can you introduce me to a few handsome doctors at your work?
Sister B scolded A ruthlessly, which made A cry for hours after. Many of Sister B's co-workers knew about A. Sister B's co-workers would sometimes tease her at work about A. Sister A was caught having an affair with a married man. There was no way Sister B would introduce anyone she knew to A. 2 years have passed after that. I heard Sister A had finally paid off her debt to Sister B. Well, it was mainly because of the strict repayment plan Sister B made for Sister A. Sister B was so strict that even I felt bad for A. The good thing is, even though A was naive and very spoiled, she eventually learned to be a little more responsible thanks to my sister's guidance. After Sister A repaid her debt, Sister B said, "I'm keeping a copy of the memorandum with me. If you do anything stupid again, or try to rely on our parents like before, I'll let everyone see it when you get married." Sister B warned A again.
Okay, I get it.
Sister A was obviously terrified. She probably thought she could finally be free after paying off the borrowed money. She must be in despair when she realized that Sister B is ready to drop a bomb if she does anything wrong. Sister A hasn't done anything ridiculous ever since. She also stopped asking our parents for financial support. I admire Sister B a lot for straightening A's behavior and teaching her how to be independent. Sister A finally learned what it meant to be an adult. She'll be fully independent soon. Still, I find it impressive that Sister B could pay the compensation in full back then. It was a lot of money for most people. I had no idea she made so much being a doctor. What amazed me the most was that A learned to make plans to pay for the living expenses herself, and she started to understand the importance of savings. I don't know what happened to the boss A had an affair with, but I hope Sister A has learned a life lesson from that experience.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.